Hi guys, my name is Simisola Oni. I welcome you to the very first edition of Japa Gist with Simisola Oni. On this show, we'll be sharing real-life migration stories, Japa Gist, challenges, and lessons to inspire others preparing for their relocation journey. Today, I have with me Dr. Oyinlola Oluwagbemiga. Thank you so much for honoring the call.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Yes,
having me.
let's dive into the discussion for today. Can we know you?
Oh, okay. I'm Oluwagbemiga
Okay.
Oyinlola.
Okay.
I'm from Nigeria by citizen, and I came to Canada 2021
Wow.
as an international student. I used to work in Nigeria at the University College Hospital, Ibadan.
Wow.
And for several years until I moved, I got a supervisor who was interested in my research, and I came here
Wow.
to pursue my PhD in social work.
Wow.
So I was a medical social worker in Nigeria.
Oh,
yes.
Good to know that.
Thank
Good
you.
to know that.
Thank you.
Oh, let me ask this. What was your first impression when you got to Canada about Canada on however? Your first impression on however?
So, well, I came in during COVID. So the difference is clear, and different individuals with different journey. So, and for my own case, it was during COVID. There was mandatory COVID-19 isolation for I think 2 weeks. So I think it was brutal. So the 2 weeks compulsory isolation as an international immigrant was really very stressful. So, but why that is there, I came in with $500. So the $500 I have to pay for my rent, and the rent, my landlord was telling me to also pay for pay a deposit. So which also mean that how do I pay for deposits without having money? So after paying the money, after paying $460, I was left with $40 to eat. So how do I get money to survive when I came in? And it was during COVID. I don't have access to Amazon. I don't have access to, I don't even know how to use Amazon. And I don't have credit card. I don't have a debit card. So the only money left with me was $40.
Okay,
but we'll get to that.
Yes, we'll get to that. I'm just taking it bit by bit.
Great.
When you landed,
yes,
tell us what happened when you landed. What was your surprise? Was the cold so much and all that? At the point of landing, gist us what really happened.
Well, I don't have any difficulty. I mean, when I landed, I went to the port of entry. It wasn't cold. It was during the summer. So everywhere was still very calm, and it was chilling. And although I've been to several countries, and some of those countries that I've been to, they have similar weather when I came. So it wasn't as cold as I was told back home. So when I came into the border, I didn't come with any jacket. I came with sweater. So, and you can imagine. So, and I was like, well, it's not cold. So I was enjoying it, not until when the coldness started in November.
Okay.
So when I came, it was very smooth. It was a smooth ride. And I really, I'm grateful that I didn't experience winter when I came in.
Okay. Yeah. So how did you maneuver getting a cab? How did you maneuver getting a place to stay when you landed? So was it so easy?
I was one of the very few privileged individuals who was helped by people. So I think there is a people factor in my case. So before I came in, I was connected with one of our seniors who had just finished a PhD. He actually left his room for me. So my job was just to come with my two 23 kg bags, and my rice and gari and granite. So when I came in, I just took my bag into the room, and then my landlord, I was very privileged, I must say.
Wow.
So, and getting the house is another story entirely, because after the connection, I never knew the house. I was thinking, well, this is Ilu Oyinbo, as they used to tell us that everything should be rosy. I was thinking I'm going to have my own apartment with a condo, my own personal fridge. Unfortunately, the reverse was the case. We were 8 in the building, in the whole apartment. We were 8, and then there are 8 rooms. So I'm sharing one bathroom with 8 people. So sometimes you have to wait. Even if you want to shit, you have to wait. So it wasn't, I mean, I was like, well, I just have to adapt. I mean, when we were in Nigeria, thank God for Nigeria. Nigeria actually built many of us to really adapt. I wouldn't forget NYSC. We were, you know, you have to just adjust. You have bunk. You have to line up to use the bathroom. You have to line up to use the toilet and stuff like that.
Was there any culture shock moment?
Definitely. There are a lot of cultural shock in Canada. So one of those cultural shock is what we call bathroom. In Nigeria, we call it toilet. We call it toilet in Nigeria, right? So here they call it bathroom. So I'm like, when I came, someone told me, I'm going to the bathroom. And I'm like, are you going to the bathroom to have your bath or what? So that's one cultural shock. So let me start by classifying also those cultural shock based on language, greetings, cultural shock based on interaction, based on who you see, the food as well. So food, maybe, but one of the cultural shock when it comes to language is how do we respect an elderly woman when you see them? In Nigeria, my supervisor, I'm grateful to her, very wonderful woman. She might be listening to me now. Thank you. Amazing woman. She fed me my first week with food. So she sent her daughter to give me food. Who does that, right? So, but the interaction is that when I sent a thank you message to her, I said, thank you, ma. The word ma sounds somehow because she hardly gets that. So how would you call a white woman ma? So what she did was to ask her friends who are fellow professors that, can you imagine a Nigerian boy calling me ma? And they told her that, look here, it's a sign of respect. So there is this reverse cultural deviation between me of how do we respect an elderly woman, someone who is older than you in age and qualification. Another language concern is how do I talk to you without being disrespectful. One of those is the fact that when you get to work, people get to focus on, like, I'm coming from Nigeria, that you have to greet people from their offices. Hi, good morning, hi, good. But when I came here, oh my God. You go to your office and you lock yourself and you get your work done and you go home. So it's so different. And when you come down to the when we talk of food as well, you know, access to Nigerian food is, as you know, is very expensive. And if you have to get a Nigerian food, then you must have an extra cash. So I've learned to eat all food. I've learned to eat a lot of Indian food. They are very cheap, easy to get, and sweet. So even if it is not sweet, you just have to adapt. You know, and there are some food I hardly take when I'm in Nigeria, but when I got here, I started eating pizza. I started eating shawarma. I started eating all those they call something sweet tomatoes. I started eating raw food, and I'm like, am I still Oluwagbemiga that used to eat the amala? So the food is also different. And when I came to Canada, one major cultural shock is the fact that my color became pronounced as a black person. In Nigeria, everybody is black. The idea of being black is not really prominent. But here, when they see you, they know you are the only black in the room. So, and I mean, I'm sorry to say this, Canada is a very wonderful place. It's just like Oju Orun Teyefu, like the sky is too big for birds to fly without touching each other.
Of course.
I think that's the literal translation, right? So what I'm pointing out is that is the fact that being a black person means that either you are a threat to other colors, or you are dangerous, or probably you are not enough in the room. So, but I'm grateful to people who I will keep saying that people really matters in
Yeah.
my journey into Canada, and even in my current journey, people really matters. I matter a lot. So people keep telling me, you are enough. You are more than enough. You've done so much for your country. You've done so much for yourself. You've invested so much on yourself. So don't, even if your voice is shaking, keep talking. Even if it becomes really hard for you to talk, say it out. Even if your accent, they don't get it, don't bloody kenge.
Yeah.
So talk about it. So, but I think that I've actually paved a lot of way for me. And those words of, even if your voice shake, keep talking about what is happening, I think actually helped me in honing the room, taking charge wherever I am in the room, even as a Black person. So, and there are a lot of initiatives which were done in the last 5 years when I came to Canada. But we'll talk about that later.
Oh, thank you so
There's a lot of cultural shock, but those are the few ones. And the last cultural shock is not every man is a man. And not every woman is a woman. So ask. I learned to ask that, do you want me to call you a girl or a man or a woman or the other gender? So I got to know when I came here, because the notion of non-binary gender neutrality is not really common in Africa. Though they exist, but they are being silenced. We don't really know anything about. But when I came here, I got to understand that, look here, not every woman you see is a woman. Ask the question.
That is a very good one.
Thank you.
And a very big shock when I also came in.
Yeah.
So was there any weather adjustment? Was there any issue?
Of course, everybody, every Black African, Nigerian especially, because we don't see snow, except if you are, even just don't see snow. We don't see, except Harmattan. And our mouth will be dry. So there were a lot of shock. There were a lot of adjusting to the climate, the snow. My first snow was very interesting. So there were a lot of Nigerians when I came in 2021, and many of us came almost the same time. So when we came, when we saw on the, it was when I came, I learned to use the weather forecast. I don't know how to use that.
What about using, how did you cope? Before
that's where I'm going.
About using your phone to navigate and direction and all that. Were you able to actually navigate your
That's a different ball game entirely. When we're in Nigeria, they taught us map reading. We were not paying attention. But now when I came here, I knew when it goes to north, south, west. Oh, this is how the map is.
2-1-2-1.
Exactly. So, but the thing about the weather condition is that in Nigeria we don't pay attention to the weather. Because we know, as we live the day as it comes.
Yes.
In Nigeria, as the bird flies, that's how we throw the stone. But here, think before you throw the stone, because check very well before you even throw the stone. So don't just live your day by risk. I learned that in Canada. So by checking weather, we see -20, you know you have to wear a jacket. If it is 10, you still have to wear a jacket because the weather changes. In a day, I noticed when I came that we can have 4 seasons. We can have 4 winter, autumn, everything in a day. So snow will come, stop, and go. So, and then we have very big sunny autumn. So adjusting to that weather also means that when you are going, go with extra jacket in your bag, especially when you are traveling.
Even to water.
Exactly. So the idea of locating places using buses, it's a big shock. Montreal has the best transport system in the whole of North America. No doubt about it. However, you have to be smart enough to know where those buses are. You have to be smart enough to know the timing. And if you miss the timing, you missed it. Except if you are taking the metro alone. And we have the best metro system, which is really fantabulous. And except if you live far away from downtown, like those staying like Laval, and I heard we now have buses going to those areas. So, but Montreal is doing excellently well when it comes to transport system. But you have your own, you have to use your brain to know that, are we? This is when bus 109, the most, sorry for saying this, the most funniest bus I've ever seen is the one that goes every 1 hour. Now it's 9:60 on Sundays. So imagine you are going to church, you have to wait inside the snow for 1 good hour.
Oh my God.
In a very terrible cold weather. So those are really changes that you have to adjust.
How did you do it in your first week? Navigating.
So it was a very terrible one. I didn't do well because the first week I didn't go to church. Second week, because it was lockdown, I didn't go anywhere.
Okay.
We were inside. So I think towards the end of the month, I saw a church which I'm attending now. And when I got to my first day, I loved the church. I said I want to join the choir. So then I joined the choir. And then on my first day, I said I will use the map. I forgot to charge my phone. I was using one Palasha phone called Techno. So I was thinking the phone will not die now.
Jesus.
So I was using the internet. I was playing game, doing all those things. My brothers and sisters. When I got to Cote Vatu, I used the bus. I forgot that the bus is meant to stop at one junction. So by the time I forgot totally. The phone is dead.
Wow.
So when I got to the final bus stop, I said I'm going to 9866. The bus driver, I don't understand because the bus driver doesn't understand English, not French. So that's another ball game entirely. That's another story. I trekked though. Hey,
how many
Jesus Christ! I trekked for 1 hour.
Jesus!
Oh my God! Morning. But I tried to get a restaurant. After 1 hour to charge my phone, I called the choir. The day they finished the rehearsal, just be going home. So it was just like an exercise. So, but I've learned over time that when you are going somewhere, make sure your phone is fully charged. In fact, buy power bank, if possible, so that when that one is dead, you can use that. So you can use the power bank.
Yes. So as new immigrants coming to Canada, that is another thing to learn.
Yeah.
When you land in Canada. So let's go into what do you enjoy most now? You've used 5 years in Canada. What are you enjoying now in Canada?
It's I had the best of myself in Canada. The best of myself in terms of people, church, in terms of education. McGill is one of the best, I'm proud to say, in Canada and even in the world. And everyone I tell in Nigeria that I'm at McGill, the first question is, how did you get in? So, that's always the next question, because the former vice chancellor of University of Ibadan finished from McGill. I think 2 other vice chancellors also finished from McGill. So why that is known, the pressure is on me also that I have to be the best. So also the pressure is that as McGill is, you have to keep writing. So I love writing naturally back home in Nigeria, because in the hospital we write every day. And we document case notes, we document in case notes, we write, and we do clinical case presentation. But McGill made me to understand that you have to think critically of, so what? Like, what's new? Think innovatively beyond the statutory way of thinking. And I think that I'm grateful about. And I'm also grateful to the government of Canada. For one thing, when I came in as a broke international student navigating the system. Like, I mean, super bloodily broke. So why McGill gave me some funding as a PhD student, because as a PhD student, because they select very few people, I think they selected only 2 international students. So, and we are just 6 in the class. So, and we know each other. So they gave us some few funding, why that is known. But I was privileged to have one of the external funding by the federal government of Canada, like competing with fellow PhD students who are Canadian citizens, permanent resident, and it's a privilege, and I'm grateful for that benefit. But that doesn't come with its own challenges. One of those challenges is that you have to keep asking yourself, are you enough? So like not being enough is always common for most international students, and that means that you have to keep grinding yourself every time. Sleeping also becomes very difficult, and you have to keep reading, you have to keep writing, you have to keep winning at all times. And to win also comes with its own pressure of sacrificing yourself, sacrificing your family, sacrificing a lot of time. So I'm grateful. The benefits are huge here. One of those benefits is networking. Like people I read, I see. People I cite in Nigeria that I use their instrument, we work together every day, and that privilege, you can't get it like on a platter of gold. So I'm grateful for that. And people I really see as Miguel have invented a lot of things. So imagine someone that invents one of those chemistry formulas, and you are meeting the person, and you are in the same office, and he's telling you, oh, what do you think? What do I think? I don't know, maybe you are grappling what I'm saying. Someone is asking you, what do you think? Someone you've been reading at his textbook all your life. Imagine someone whom you've been citing their textbook, or probably you've been using their tool in your clinical practice, and even your boss in Nigeria are saying that, why don't you use this person? Why don't you use this? This tool has been the one we've been using. And then you now came to McGill University, and then you met the person, and the person is now telling you that, okay, can we write something together? And you're like, So those are real benefits and the real opportunity that also comes with its own pressure of excellence, And don't forget, being an international student, Black from Africa, there is this negative narrative and of a backward society, which we've been known for. And it takes a lot of grace and a lot of hard working person to really erase that. So it takes a lot of time. Yeah.
Okay, you've talked about this before, but I just wanted to dwell more. Survival as a man that came to study, and your daily life.
There's a lot. Everything, it's not always straightforward. When I came, many of us that came almost the same time did everything. When we say everything, I mean we worked everywhere. We worked in warehouse. We worked during Valentine to distribute flour, to sort flour. So one very funny story. One of my friend, I don't want to mention his name. He's a very popular guy. So we worked. There was a time we're all broke. We were just saying, "Ha, Osowo, Osingoton," and we just came. So during Valentine, we met at Snowdon. There is a place around Snowdon where they sell flowers to people. So, and they pay $15.50 per hour. So as I was doing, and then I saw this guy, we attend the same church. He's one of the very big guy in church, Spirit Kuku. Oga, what are you doing here? So, it's not always straightforward. So it's like, it levels you economically. You just have to make it.
Is it compulsory to start from the lowest when you
It's not compulsory. Some people are very fortunate that as they are coming, they had a lot of networking of people that really push them up. So it's not always straightforward.
Let us dwell more on that.
Okay.
Is it because even if you want to leverage on people that you meet here in Canada, can you leverage without you starting from the lowest in Canada? Is it possible?
It's very possible. I've seen a lot of people move from Canada
as they are landing from Nigeria or from the African
they
country.
already have something waiting for them. Okay, I've seen someone like that, and it's all about packaging. It's all about positioning, and positioning also comes with grace of God. I mean, if God has a way of helping people, but what I always tell people is that why you get this grace, you have opportunity of getting to that top immediately you came, always think of how to sustain that top. Because if you don't sustain it, in Canada, it's very easy to come down. Like it's super, very, very easy. So maintaining it also means you also updating yourself. Don't forget, Canada is a skill-based economy.
Yeah.
So your skill can be obsolete within a twinkle of an eye.
Okay.
So what do you need is just to ensure that you keep updating your skill. And if you don't know how to do it, go to school, go back to school. I just finished my PhD last month. I defended. And people, thank you. And people keep saying, what's next? I don't know. What's next? I don't know. But as I don't know, I'm also thinking of my next plan, of the fact that I think I need to go back to school. Are you surprised? Yeah. Why? Because I saw another gap. Because the world is changing. So, and if really I'm still young, if really I really want to take like, don't let me use the word take charge. Like, if I still want to be relevant and also maintain excellence, I'm not there, but if I really want to get there, to compete and also be very competitive, I must keep learning and keep working. So there are people who came in and got it. And there are people who have to start from the scratch, go through warehouse, go through my first job at Walmart. Don't let me mention their name. So first day, we carried load. My eye blur. First night. Second day, I go. After 1 week, I said I'm not coming again because I started rubbing my back. I've done security job at night.
You stand for 8 hours.
Exactly. Who does that? You work as a security personnel. You know, those, as an international student, you have to pay your rent. You have to pay these. So those work not only makes you stronger, but it takes you that, look here, there is joy at the end of the whole thing. So, I mean, it also sent a message to us that, I mean, we didn't come here to
bank dollars.
Exactly.
Because my own is I told my husband we are coming at low pa.
It's a lie.
I said de Canada what it day.
Like,
so for people watching us, even if you are migrating from your base to Canada, Canada is not a place where you come and you start picking dollars.
No.
It is not though. Let us know that.
I mean, I also want to say that it's very easy to be homeless in Canada. Like, it's super. Someone can be homeless in a very
within the space of 30 days.
In fact, within the space of 2 weeks, you can be very homeless. So, like, Canada teaches you financial literacy. Like, you have to map. Not every money you send home.
Yeah.
Not every person you give money. I always tell people that you give money to you use the excess, not, and then after you've saved, after you've fed yourself and your family, you've paid all your tuition, you've paid bills, what is left? And then black tax, as they used to say. But if you now say that what you are meant to eat, except if it is an emergency and it's a blood-related family member, don't dare it, or else people that you are giving that same money will ask you, what did you do?
How many you've been in Canada for many years?
So what? Kilo mubo kini 2 dear. Yeah.
So Canada is not where you just come and you just think you can just boom.
No. Like, even if you boom it and you start making the whole billions of the tax in it, if it, people don't understand the math. The more you earn, the more tax you pay.
Yeah.
The more, if you're a family person and you have a lot of, your wife is making hundreds of dollars and you're also making hundreds of dollars, you pay more money to government.
Yes.
So why don't you, it even makes sense to be self-employed than to be working for people. It makes more economic sense in Canada. And the only difference between Nigeria and Canada is that there is dignity in labor here.
Of course.
If you work well,
you
earn well. you will see the results.
Of course.
You will progress. That's just that
And
one
you
is certain.
have to keep working.
You have to keep working. So, but you will progress.
Mm.
So, and unlike Nigeria, like even if you work, you still have to bribe some certain people to get some certain things done. Even if you work so much, the dignity in labor would not materialize until maybe when you're almost dying. But here in Canada, as you are working, you are investing into pension, you are investing into life insurance. Even if something happens, something will pay for it, something will work over it. Like anyway, but there's a lot to say about financial literacy is another conversation entirely. Yeah.
And that is why sometimes I see very old people. I will see how they still stand and walk in Canada.
Exactly.
They are still very,
they
very
have to pay mortgage.
to walk.
They will pay mortgage. Who will pay for their mortgage? That's the reality.
But our base back home, when you are 50, 55, you retire, or 60, if they will tell you to retire and
one financial literacy, which is a different conversation. I'm not an expert in finance, but the little I know is that mortgage is a lot. It takes a lot from you, so you have to start early. If you really want to buy a house in Canada, start early. Start saving. Start thinking. If you have a partner, start saving together. And I mean, because or else you pay throughout your lifetime. So be careful.
Any major challenge when you, in the course of you living in Canada?
Quebec. Quebec.
Oh my God! What is Quebec?
Language.
Give me Quebec, Chefuyi.
Language. I love Quebec. Beautiful, wonderful, multicultural. It's a beautiful, especially Montreal. Wonderful people, but there is this subtle segregation as a result of inability to speak French. I started it as an international PhD student. I dropped out 3-4 times. Not that I don't like, I love French. Bonjour, comment ça va? Ça va bien, merci. Je m'appelle Oluwagbemiga, Oyinlola. I love it.
And toi?
At toi, it's so wonderful and fantabulous. Information, organisation. It's so wonderful and beautiful. In fact, French is romantic, you know, but to get it stick into my brain as a PhD student, because sometimes I don't get home until midnight. I write every day. I publish every day. And I'm at McGill. I have to write for funding. I have to keep thinking of next thing. And how do I compartmentalize my brain to do all of this and also absorb French? I will run mad. And also, you can run mad easily, actually. So, because some people find it very easy. I've seen a lot of people during their during their PhD program, during their master's program, they went into French school and they succeeded. But, personally, those were major challenge. And another major challenge is the fact that as an international student, you are not welcomed post study. They just stopped that, the PEQ program. So which means that it's very challenging to me because I love McGill, I love Montreal. So that means once I graduate, Quebec is producing graduates, one of their best brains, to another province to take over. That's just the message. So there is no pathway to transitioning into the system in Quebec as an international graduate without without knowing how to speak French. So, and also, I'm a social worker. I can't practice in Quebec because I have to write their Quebec exam. I have to write the Quebec Order of Social Work exam. And as a Nigerian that is surrounded, that speaks only English, it's very unfortunate that I have to go somewhere else and use my skills. So those are really, it's very easy. Wherever you come in 5 years after you've built a lot of family, it's so sad you have to let that go. It's very, very sad.
And go to a place where they speak English
And then you have to start all over again.
So are you saying even if you don't do the test or the exam here, and you are you are a social worker, if you go to another province in Canada, will you be able to work without even doing their test and just telling
No,
them?
you still have to register. You can't call yourself a social worker in Canada without registering.
So why not just do it in Quebec and get the certificate? Then you can use it in Quebec rather than going to other provinces.
Great question. So Quebec said for you to practice, you must register with the Order of Social Work and Psychotherapists. So, and you have to write the exam. So, whereas in other provinces, like Nova Scotia, Alberta, Ontario, and several other provinces, Saskatchewan, you don't necessarily need an exam. You don't necessarily need an exam because if your gap in practice is not more than 5 years. If your gap in practice has been more than 5 years, you will be subjected to exam. But in Quebec, the exam is in French. And you have to write it in French. Either you've been out of practice for 5 years or not out of practice. Even if it is 1 year, you still have to write it to get the license. That's the statutory. So what is interesting in other provinces is that as a social work graduate from Nigeria, whose credentials has been evaluated and approved by the Canadian Association of Social Workers, I still have to go to province, like a provincial registration, which is another level of registration. So I'm registered with another province, interestingly, so which I'm safe. So Quebec, I'm sorry if I have to leave you. I love Quebec. I love Quebec so much. Yeah.
But
okay, all right.
Yeah.
We're gonna meet you if you want to do Quebec, but
we are still in Quebec.
Tell the premier to give me job. I will stay back. All right.
Okay, let's go back to accommodation.
Oh yeah. Good.
So after your first, you told us that you got some money and
yeah.
So how did you flow? How did you see another accommodation, and how were you able to have your own rather than still coping with 8 people, 6 people?
It's a whole lot. So first, I did not wanted to get an accommodation outside the 8 people because at a point in time, the 8 of us were men, we're boys. We love each other, but we fight. We love each other, we fight. And we fight every day. But that doesn't mean that if we see something that will harm you, we don't talk about it. So, but that's that. But we had one person that was really very annoying. So you might probably watch the video, I don't care. So, but how did I got, the question is, how did I get a new accommodation, right? A new space, a new apartment. It was through people as well, church members. So it's so easy. Here in Canada, if you keep your mouth shut, you won't get anything. You know, just keep telling people that I need this, you will get it. Facebook market is there. But I was very privileged to have people who are my friends, whom I call my family most times. So they were the one that told me, brother, someone and got so they could transfer lease. So when they transferred the lease, I just met with the landlord, I went to the office, and that was it. The rest is story. So the interesting thing was that it's so different in some other countries which I've been to. Here in Canada, you could build your own community easily. Like you could tell people that I want us to stay in the same area, and you would achieve that without stressing yourself. So when in that same apartment, there was a vacancy. I told my friend, Ore, I hear to see how me building, would you like to come? And she said, of course, I'm coming. So she and her husband, they all came. And then there is another building in front of us. There is a space. Are you not looking for a house? Leave that Korope that you are living. Oh, yeah, come. That's how we've. And then there is another building. So that's how every one of us had to stay within the same area. So, and it's very easy. So far, you all have genuine interest of each other. Like you have interest of each other at heart. I think it's very easy. But also, that doesn't mean that it doesn't come with arguments or fights and all those things. But the reality is that when you know each other's boundary. You don't step it, and you just enjoy it. You build the community. We play tennis together. We play everything. Even at the tennis, we will argue, but that does not mean that we will not go to the tap and drink water and splash water on ourselves. So that's the joy, and those memories lingers even when you leave Montreal.
Was there any other how will I put it? Was there any other person that is not African where you stayed? Someone that did not actually understand your language and all that.
In my first apartment,
Yes,
of course. So, there were only 2 guys. I'm the only Nigerian, so there was only one guy. There's a guy from Uganda. Others were francophone, and they are all blacks.
How did they cope?
We use sign language, and sometimes that's a big coping skill. Sign language. Super, food, munch, orange. You just be saying everything together. And at a point in time, I think it was 2022 or thereabout, 2023, we started having AI translator on Google. And then you use your AI translator. I want you to clean the sink. It is very dirty. AI will not translate. Reach. You will also read, okay, thank you. So will you now do this? So technology helped. And another way of helping is maybe, sometimes some of them will teach you basic English, basic French. It also help you in understanding the whole dynamics of the whole system. But there were a lot of people who were non-English speakers in the room. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to your job experience. Your first job experience.
My first job experience was an examination invigilator at McGill. And second job was warehouse. And then I stopped for after 1 year because I got funded by the federal government. So, and that was SHRC, Social Science and Humanities Council of the Government of Canada. So that funded my PhD for 3 years. Then I became broke. Though I saved, but I became broke again. So, but those were a nice experience, and I think the funding was really great on my CV, and it really projected my research with older adults with dementia. So, and I love them so much, maybe because of my own personal experience, having my grandmom with dementia. So, and also the fact that that's what I've been doing in Nigeria for years before I came. So that actually opened the eyes of a lot of people that there are Black African immigrants who came in as an immigrant, and they are aging in the system, and they develop dementia in the health system without support. So my research was really unraveling those experiences and looking deeper into the meaning of their experiences. So, and the question again was around job. So then when I got funded, then I started doing research assistant with professors. So assisting professors with research. And also I was a course instructor. I did course instructor. I did teaching assistantship. So I was assisting professors in classes and all those things. So, and also I was involved in diverse form of research, like the current one which we are recruiting. We are recruiting older adults. So we are asking older adults with early onset of dementia, or we say memory, cognitive impairment or memory problems, to take a picture of things that matters to them and tell us the meaning of that. Like some will take a picture of their car, some will take a picture of their grandchildren, some will take a picture of their kitchen, their pets, their kitchen. Some will take a picture of their bicycle, because those are things that matters to them. Because we found out that as conditions like dementia progresses, communication becomes very, very difficult. And as a neurocognitive impairment that progresses down, communication becomes really difficult. And if we don't understand things that matters in terms of decision making early, it becomes very difficult for us to support them. So we are recruiting as many older adults with dementia as possible. Yeah.
Good.
Sorry, I'm advertising.
Okay, so I think you mentioned about what helped you to survive your first month.
Yeah.
So let's go to, was there any mental or emotional trauma when
homesickness? Yes. Everyone that comes here first year is always the the most problem. So for me, I'm one of the very rare kind of international student you will see in Canada, honestly, because I came in first year doing all the jobs. I was homesick. Yeah, that was normal because I miss home. I miss the chaotic life in Nigeria. You miss it.
Yes.
You miss the noise.
Jumping of the bus, the
jumping the
going
bus
of,
and all those
walking through the market.
and everybody still, that doesn't mean that we change that doesn't change our identity. I miss those experiences. I'm like, sometimes I'm homesick, miss my parents, my family, and all those things. But one thing that I would also say is that church, faith, I think it, for most Africans who are immigrants, it's often like a protective factor for us. It's a protective tool in a way that protects us from missing home. Like, you come to church, you speak your Yoruba, and then so easily. And sometimes people see me in church, you look unserious. Yeah, because I felt I can't get this once Monday starts. So once Monday starts, we go back to our English, plan, 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 and then when Saturday, I'm always delightful of Saturdays because I go to church for rehearsal. I'm a drummer. On Friday, I watch movie. And sometimes I because we hardly get access to all these Nollywood movie. So sometimes I try to subscribe to Prime, the ones I could watch, Ageshin Kole, all those, just to listen. Bashoronga, just to like remind us of who we are as a Yoruba person, as a Black African man. I'm always homesick. I miss Nigeria. I miss home every time. So I used to go home. I travel home every year. Just that I didn't go last year.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going this year. So I miss home. I try not to. I tried to. The first time I went back home, as I was coming back, I cried. I cried that, can't I just stay in Nigeria and finish this PhD? Like, can Quebec, Canadian government, McGill will keep giving me my stipend, and then I can keep writing. And then I graduate. But unfortunately, it's not like that. You have to be resident. Yeah.
So how do you handle loneliness?
So
homesickness,
I think friends, people, host people in your house. I think if I can't host you, I'm very a bit minimalist. I'm a minimalist. I don't do much, but sometimes people just so, and some people I just call them smoke jollof rice in it is a smoke jollof those, that itself kill loneliness in a way. And those, it's so hard for some people, but I'm grateful. I'm a social butterfly, and it's very easy for me to really communicate and interact with all this. Everyone around me. Like there was a time. One example of, if you don't know how to interact with people, it could be very challenging, was when we had an ice storm in Montreal in 2023. We all stayed in the same building for about 4 days. We ate the same food. Everybody was happy. We argued, we stopped the argument. We had games. And the joy is that we are all together in the same room. We went to someone else's house, actually, not even my house. So, the way we slept safe, you could see the joy even in the face of trials, in the face of chaotic ice storm. So loneliness is, for me, it's a subjective feeling. You could be in a very noisy environment and you still be lonely. But creates what I always tell people: when you come in as an international student, especially as an international student that has a lot of people in Nigeria, that is a community person back home in Nigeria, build that same community around you. It's very hard.
Is it easy when you just land?
It wasn't easy. I did a lot of Facebook search that are there churches around here. I think church, religious setting, play a major factor in like supporting and reducing loneliness and isolation in a way. I wouldn't lie to you. Though there could be a major barrier in a way because some religious setting don't care, because of their way of judging, the judgmental ideology of this is an acceptable way of being. But this is Canada, for God's sake. You have to create another way, acceptable way. So they don't really see that. But church, I think, actually helped people like me and my school. I have different families as in school. I call them family because we are when I came in 2021, we started what we call Black Access McGill, and I'm a member. I'm one of the founding member. So we meet every month. We call it sharing circle. We eat together. We buy a lot of food. We talk about what we are facing, and it's now a big thing. We give funding to new incoming students, scholarships. We give a PhD, masters. Like, as a Black person, once you identify yourself as a Black person and you are coming in, we just support each other to thrive, not survive alone, but thrive. Thriving is a different way, is a different word, and it's a different it's a different thing. If you are surviving, it comes with its own it comes from a negative point, but thriving, though, that doesn't remove those challenges, but you are growing, you are learning, you are enjoying. Studying is hard. It's not easy to read and write. It's not easy, especially in this when we started, there was no AI, so we all wrote from our head. Like, it's not easy. Sometimes I have so in my at McGill, if I just want to be alone, I have in my workstation, there is no sunlight. I'm the only one there. No one knows my office. So sometimes I have brain block. In fact, I have a mat that I can sleep if nothing is coming. So I will drink coffee from morning till night. I can't put up one single line. And my time is ticking. Funding will end. And I don't want to be broke. And there's a lot of expectation back home that you need to graduate, you need to finish, you need to do this. But I told myself that why those expectations becomes a pressure, I try not to listen to them. I have to work based on, like, what does it mean to excel in this thing? So, I mean, as we're saying, someone said, whatsoever your hand findeth doing, I don't know if it's Bible or it's an adage, or it said, do it diligently with your heart. So I told myself, if this is the only thing I'm doing for the next 5 years, I just have to get it done. So my supervisor used to say something. I'm grateful to her. She said, when it is done, it is done. So get it done. So, and how do I get it done? It's not being mediocre, like excellence. That no option, because we are competing with the most powerful people, difficult people, and they've gone ahead of us. What can you do to not, if you cannot beat them, be above them? So it takes a lot of grinding. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. So what would be your advice for new immigrants?
Don't have expectations. Limit your expectation. Like, I think the euphoria they gave to us was that Canada is heaven. Like, it's a land full of milk and honey. But you can't get that milk and honey if you are lazy. It's heaven that when you get there, government will be giving you money. It's a bloody lie. When you get there, you don't have to work too much. Yeah. But
you have to work.
You have to work. So limit your expectation. Like, let your expectation be low, because live the day without too many. And another thing is that have things you want to do. Back home in Nigeria, although I use calendar a lot on my phone, but I think I used it more here. When we want to schedule this podcast, I was like, oh, let's pick a date. I have to speak with you that, oh, what date? Oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, there are specific timing, or else a lot of things will start coming in. People from home will be calling you because while you are still sleeping, they are already in the afternoon.
Yeah.
and learn to reduce the noise by switching off your phone, putting it on flight mode, or switch off your internet and limit the noise, but focus on your own growth. I mean, at the point that you just have to be selfish to your own self and your family.
Yeah.
At the point, not that you should blind yourself from what is happening around you, but
just to achieve
what is right. So limit your expectation when coming. Don't believe everything will come on a platter of gold. It's not easy.
So was there any common mistake? What are the common mistakes to avoid?
One major common mistake is finances. Canada will throw everything at you to buy on credit. So if you are not careful, you will buy it. Phone, number one. Yeah. When people come to Canada, the first thing they buy is
phone.
iPhone 17. So when they get the phone, you become
24 months.
24 months. So that speaks to the fact that what $50 or $60, that one is gone. So you can buy a brand new 85 inches television on credit. No one cares. So far, you have a credit card. So be careful of your credit card. I mean, when I came, I'm like, how much am I get busy? I can get busy in Nigeria. Credit card. Like, bunch of credit card. Credit card. But the accountant was, you have to be buying it. You have to build credit score. I'm like, Mama, build do busy. Hey, get it. So the math wasn't mathing. But you need that credit score to achieve.
Yeah.
You can't buy a house without a credit score. You can't buy things. You can't achieve things in this world without a credit score. So it took me almost a year, like even up till now, like maybe I spent something more to over 1,000. And I'm actually, wow, I should Can you
yeah.
It's very hard. And another thing is insure your life. Insure if you have a car, of course, definitely you have to insure your car. But I think life insurance is what they didn't teach us back home.
Yeah.
But here, I think it's so essential. It's not that common, but it's very essential. And if you find yourself coming to Canada at a very young age, you are lucky because you started insuring yourself at a very young age. By the time you grow, like you are about 60 or 65, like you are okay. You start paying yourself, And the idea of savings, they don't really preach savings to us in Nigeria. But though our parents and grandparents teach us, but the new generations don't save. Government have different platform opportunities to save, like TFSA, RSA. Those savings opportunity, they don't matter now. But by the time you get the money back, you are a big man. Like you just keep traveling and people invest ahead of time. I think those are major mistakes. Another mistake which I would say is that be careful of how you talk to people, how you approach people, because there are a lot of I never knew, of course. There are a lot of people here are meaning makers. They make meanings out of everything. The way you talk to them, the way you touch them, the way you don't just say sorry if you don't curse it. So just be careful because people read meanings to everything. Your actions and inactions has a lot of meaning, and there are different criminal codes that speaks to those actions and inactions. So be careful.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Oluwagbemiga, for coming today.
Yeah,
I think we're able to answer all of our questions today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me anytime.
Do you have any other general thing you just want to tell us before we conclude today's session?
Well, I mean, if I would talk, I think I'm going to speak to international students coming from Nigeria who are always very happy. It's a congratulations. I know a lot of people are getting admission now at this month of the year. This is February, March. So congratulations on your admission, but I think to whom something is given, much is expected, kind of. So when they give you admission to come to Canada, you are expected to face your studies. So when you come, don't switch studies, don't switch your school, don't stop going to school. We've seen that a lot. It's on the high side now. People stop going to school, people switch things. And when you come to study, face your study. Don't be victim of plagiarism. I've been on panel as a PhD member of the PhD committee defending fellow students. I don't think I can do that now because I'm on the other side as a PhD graduate. So don't be victim of that. And I think AI has caused more harm in terms of how students think. So use your brain before you use AI. AI came after your brain. So use your brain well. Trust me, you are very smart for you to get to this level. So why don't you use your smartness to serve as a pivot to greatness? So and then lastly, as an international student coming to Canada, learn to also know your limits. Don't jump on every project, everything. I think those mistakes are there because a lot of people, when they come in, oh, my supervisor said I should do this. There was a professor that loves me. So because they love me, they told me to join them in this project. Trust me, they love you, but they are using you. And your purpose might shift. And that purpose, once it shifts, then it delays you. And the new immigration law, be conversant with it. Don't listen to news because they change the law every year. So listen to news. Don't forget that your study permit, once before it expires, make sure you've graduated or renew it super fast. And if you are in Quebec, get CAQ early, like 4 months before it expires, because once your study permit expires, everything stops. Anyways, that's it.
Thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate you, Mr. Oluwagbemiga.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Oluwagbemiga.
Oluwagbemiga. Sorry about that.
You have to say it in full.
Thank you so much, and God will honor you.
Amen.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of your time. Bye.
Bye.